laughed and fucking tracked dirt in, shit all over the table, and they reached in their pockets and fucking dropped change on the table. There was 6 or 7 people, and they were there for 2 hours drinking coffee and eating food. They spent $170, and they tipped 4 pennies.
Is it true that black people don't tip?
Yes!
Is that actually true?
It is true. When I delivered pizza,
really?
I never got a tip from a black person.
And that's not
I don't know.
Dude, let me tell you
I
something.
delivered it very well. I rang the doorbell. I'm like, here's your delicious pizza. And they're like, thanks. Slam. That's it. Stereotype. Well, that's not fair. I'm sure they do tip.
Check your privileges.
What? Check your privileges.
Your privileges are at a 40.
Yeah, your
you were about a 20.
Yeah, your privileges are pretty high right now.
Well, here's the thing. Like, this is completely true. Do you know why it's called a stereotype?
Because they're generally true.
Yeah.
That's not true. Because they say that black people are all about fried chicken. That's bullshit. Why should they get all fried chicken? Fried chicken's delicious. I've never met one person in my entire life that doesn't like fried chicken.
No, stereotypes are twisted in turn. Then we get new stereotypes. They just evolve. They change form. Not all stereotypes. Like, there's still not fucking Mama Jalama back in the past with
Aunt Jemima, you mean?
Yeah, she's not still fucking. She doesn't have like.
He doesn't even have Aunt Jemima in Ireland.
She doesn't even have cornrows and all this shit. She's not making stuff for a wholesome farm family.
All right, so we've been blatantly racist, sexist.
I'm not being racist. I'm explaining how stereotypes are how they used to be.
Let's just take a minute to
This is the
appreciate
new
Mama
age
Jalima.
modernized
Mama
stereotype.
Jalima.
Mama Jalima.
Mama Jalima makes great rice and beans.
She makes pancakes, nago.
You're a nigga.
I don't think like we were being racist there.
We're not being racist. I'm just explaining stereotypes.
White people.
I was saying that this isn't the 50s anymore.
The only
Black
school
people aren't
shooters
like
that
how
I
they
know
used
are
to be in
fucking
the
white.
50s cartoons.
We have our faults.
Yeah, I'm not saying like fucking white guys are the superiority, but it's just kind of
not.
like.
Like you said, black people aren't how they used to be in the 50s cartoons. Like, everything's all good now. It was just white animators representing them in weird ways.
Yeah, it's not like back then.
If
They
you
were
watch
like,
old like Popeye cartoons, how they fucking show off Asians, it's not.
Popeye was ruthless. Did you see the way they used to draw Japanese guys?
Oh, Pink Charlie.
And they'd actually-
this is from the Americans.
and they'd make them look exactly the same, like every one of
They
them.
were
all
like
the
buck
same.
teeth and these crazy slanty
So
eyes.
you know, if we're talking about like
Those are like
racism,
wartime cartoons.
if we're talking about racial racism, let's talk about racism in that sense. Cartoons. If we're talking about cartoons in the past, holy shit, man, they were diving into like fucking like Hitler and Semitism and all this crazy shit. And it's just like, really, dude? Segregation? Is that really a topic for Mickey Mouse?
I'm sure they still play Looney Tunes on TV.
Yeah, probably on like.
When I grew up, Bugs Bunny and all those guys were still smoking
Cigars and
cigarettes
shit.
and drinking out of bottles
Yeah.
with 3 X's and shit on them. Did they cut all that out? Like, are kids not allowed
Yeah,
to
now
watch
they
it
drink
anymore?
like energy drinks, and that's enough for them.
Like how they like changed, like when a Dragon Ball character is drinking beer clearly in the cartoon, they like superimposed the word root in front of beer on the, so it's like, oh, they're drinking root beer. There's amber colored root beer.
At least it's not fucking insensitive like Pokemon, where he's clearly holding like a.
A rice ball, and he's like, these hot dogs are delicious. Yeah.
This is, I mean, like there's some edits.
Like
that-
rice is that bad.
Yeah,
like, you're not allowed
it's
to
like
eat rice.
who gives a fuck? It's a sticky rice ball. You're not just gonna say like sticky rice ball.
Yo, if I was a kid and they were talking about sticky rice balls and they were enjoying them,
If
I'd
they-
be like, dude, that looks fucking delicious.
Yeah, they did look good. But if they're holding like rice balls or they're making fucking dumpling soup, which is like some like you know some Japanese stew, and they're like, well, that chili looks good. It's like, motherfucker, there was fish in that. Dude, I've never heard of that. And then you have rice balls over there. You saying that's hot dogs? Let me tell you something. I'm a kid, so I know what a fucking hot dog and pizza looks
I
like.
had hot dogs for lunch.
Yeah.
Bitch.
So it's like either you're talking down to me or you think I'm fucking blind, but either way, fuck you.
Kids are little geniuses, man. Kids know what's up.
It's true, kids do. When I was a kid, I could tell when I was getting talked down to, and I could tell when I was being respected. And you want to know something? When most cartoons talk down to people, they didn't do good. And the cartoons that pulled fucking levers and were like, hey, you're an adult, check this out.
Yeah.
Fucking did good. And it's like topics. Like, it's just like different things like that. Like, you know, when you're growing up with just all this shit, when you watch like these baby programs teaching you, and obviously some shows are good for like life lessons and stuff, but people know when they're being talked down to, and they don't want to be talked down to. They want to be talked to like an adult. And kids are the same way.
Kids are smarter than you give them credit for. Yeah, granted, they don't know how to change a tire or make spaghetti and shit,
yeah,
but
they know when they're
they
fucking,
understand human beings.
Yeah, they're just like everyone else.
Let me tell you something. I went on a camping trip once, right? And my mom and dad pitched a tent over there, and then I pitched a tent over there. It had nothing to do with wieners yet. But I was laying awake in my tent, and I heard my mom moaning, like, and I was like, I know they're not fighting, and I know they're not wrestling. Something sexual.
She was doing her
over there
bear
was going
calls.
on.
She was doing her bear calls just to get rid of the bears.
And I was really little, and I knew that my mom was fucking on a camping trip under the moonlight, and she thought that I didn't know that she was fucking. I was smart.
Is your mom a
And
loud
then she
moaner?
came back and she's like, you're like, Mom, why are you screaming yesterday? She's like, I had to put a Band-Aid on. It hurt a lot.
What if that was true? What if his dad's wiener, he was just like, hold steady now, and he just had his wiener and the Band-Aid on top trying to stick it on.
He's like, I'm gonna pull this out. I'm gonna count to 3 and pull it out. 1 and and then she came over to my tent and made me eat her butthole out.
Yeah, like we like to be talked. We don't like to be talked down to. We like to be treated like adults.
Yeah, even when you're a kid, you know, and you're being talked down to.
Oh yeah, it's like you know, they had all these talkers come in, right? They're throwing confetti in your fucking face, and they're like showing off all this stuff, and you're just like, this just makes me want to do it more because you're fucking like nerds. And then you see like someone who's like, listen, I'm cool, and I went to jail and got fucked. Alright, so don't do this. And you're like, oh, I don't want to get raped.
Yeah,
That sounds like a good idea.
Who bragged about that though?
All you gotta do, you
Went
know,
to jail and got fucked.
No, he's not bragging about it. He's like, listen, all right, every morning I woke up, and you know what they made me do? They made me put a different tattoo on my ass for when they were gonna fuck me. I was branded by 6 different people. That's what happened in high school, and I was like, whoa, dude, I don't want to do that shit. That's scary. And they were just like straightforward with us. And it's like kids need that. You need to go to like kids seminars and talk to the dangers of getting fucked.
Dude. No, dude, adults are fucking idiots, man. Like,
They really are. And it's
all those people that were preaching to you in high school, they're like fucking 28. 28-year-olds know nothing. Nobody knows anything. Everybody is coasting through life doing the best that they can. Nobody has anything figured out.
and it's 100%.
Most
true.
people plateau at like 17 years of age, mentally.
Yeah.
Their brain stops advancing. They learn little things here and there, but that's pretty much where they stop.
Even though I'm like a 24-year-old, I feel like a fucking like 10-year-old.
You get to a certain age where like you go out and then you see some old man just do something stupid and you're like, age really has nothing to do with the fact that you just dropped milk on the ground and walked away and acted like a fucking child and pretended you didn't do it.
Yeah, no, it's completely true. I've always felt like, and it's true when they say like age is just a number, not in a sense where it's like, age is just a number. I thought she was legal. It's like, no, in a sense where it's like age is just a number where adults are just young kids. And we were talking about a situation like, you know, when your family's going through something and they have to make decisions and you're just like, I can't believe my fucking parents did that. And then when you get older, you completely realize, you're like, wait a second, now I understand why my fucking parents did that. They didn't have any goddamn money and they didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm in the same fucking boat. That's so weird.
We actually had a debate here the other day where I was saying I wouldn't like. Now I know I'm in the minority, but I said I would never hit my kids if I had kids. But everyone else in this office said that they would.
Oh, I would.
Well, when I go to the grocery store, I see some fucking 12-year-old kid slam candy bars on the table and he's like, buy this for you, bitch. And he's talking to his mom. You better snatch him up and whip him in the face. You can't talk to people like that.
I'm not gonna fucking hit him, but I'll tell him how the world works. I need to I tell him how it works.
You need to grab by his little shirt and pop him in the mouth. Don't punch him in the face. Give him a little open-handed slap and be like, you don't talk to people like that. You know what's gonna happen? He's gonna get to 20 years of age and he's gonna be at his first job.
And then he's gonna hit his kids.
You gotta talk to me like that, bitch. Talking to his boss, and his boss is gonna fire him. That's wake up call.
You give them a real lessons. You go like this. You be like, hey, guess what? You won't have it. And if you keep talking like that.
That's why you're such a failure, Niall, because you were never hit when you were a kid. You need to hit more.
Nah, you too nice.
Yeah,
You too
that's
nice.
true.
You too nice. Because you know what they did? They just grazed the tip of your butt. They didn't actually inject it.
But I did, wait,
They
what?
put a little gold star on your anus and said, "Good job, Niall."
Positive reinforcement, though,
not
instead of
gonna fuck
negative
you.
reinforcement.
You know what my positive reinforcement was?
What?
My dad punched me in the ass repeatedly with his bare fist, and he was a bodybuilder, so watch out.
Dad fucked you in the ass.
He punched me.
Dude.
Yeah, but he didn't ask you to spread your cheeks.
I thought it, like, you know, dense, wind resistance. It would cause, like, if I were gonna fart. Yeah, if I fart, it would slow the fist down.
Aerodynamic goes down.
Yeah, it's like your dad's like, no! It's like with planes. It's like when planes open up the sides. It's like so the wind passes over.
You know, if you're taking a flight and it takes longer to get there because of the wind, it's the same.
No, it's
same
realistically, kids, if you're about to get beat in the ass, fart really hard. It'll stop the resistance to the hand. It happens all the time.
I think it's more that it'll stop it because your dad will be like, ew, gross.
Or fart in rhythm so your parents fart along with you or laugh along with you.
Some dad is gonna take his belt off, start whipping his son's ass, and his son is gonna fart, and then his dad is gonna beat his ass harder for farting and laughing.
He's gonna be
Like, don't fart on me! Beat the shit out of him.
Do you know what Zach did earlier?
what?
Zach was like napping on the chair, like over there, and he opened his eyes, stood up, walked over and farted on me, and went back and slept again. That's the fucking amount of respect they get in this office.
Let me tell you something.
Is truth. That's the actual truth.
Now, let me tell you something.
Niall is so
I saw you. I saw you what you were doing.
What was I doing?
You were making faces. You were going to Zach the whole time, and his eyes was open slightly. He took the opportunity.
I was doing my facial muscle exercises. I wasn't doing.
You didn't tell Zach that.
Who knows about?
He took it as a threat, alright? In a world of monkeys, if you go up to a monkey and you do this, they're gonna fucking rip your face off. It's the same thing here.
So I fart on you. It's the human equivalent.
It's a boy meets boy world.
What? Maybe for you.
Boy meets boy world.
What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, I think you mean dog. I think he means dog eat dog world.
No, boy meets world.
But he's thinking of Boy Meets World, the TV show.
Boy meets world.
So he kind of got mixed up.
Starring Corey.
Your brain is a fascinating place, Corey.
Yeah, Corey, I'd love to live in there for a day. I don't know if I'd love to or if it would be like hell.
It'd make you too horny and you get confused and have to leave early.
No, I'm a pervert. I could take that.
Oh, you don't even.
I bet I'm more perverted than you.
You wanna have?
You drop porn. You
You
drop
wanna have a
porn.
pervert off?
Fair enough.
I'll fucking ruin you.
Let's have a
I don't
pervert
think
off.
so. I don't think so.
Go.
I know your boundaries. You don't know my boundaries.
You do not know my boundaries.
What about farting on you?
Farting?
Yeah.
What was that? Was this?
What is this, fucking
what is this,
1997?
vanilla hour?
No, a girl sitting on your
What-
face.
what is this,
farting
vanilla
and saying,
hour?
sniff my ass.
Is this vanilla hour?
What about that?
Come on, give me
you like
something
that? If a
else.
girl just goes sniff it, and you have to go.
Yes, I do that for free. She didn't even have to ask,
Yeah, but
son.
would you do? No. The sniffing's okay, but
No.
if the girl's like farts,
No,
and then she goes.
farts? Are we in a daycare? Come on. Beans, and American fruit. I learned that in preschool.
Oh, you're saying this is baby talk.
This
You're
is
saying you-
baby time.
Oh, what's it?
Scat.
Scat.
Scat?
Yeah.
Is that the worst you got?
That vomiting and scat is.
Dude, that's like niche topics. That's like babies in Germany are like.
Oh, so you have like subgenres of scat, like scat with corn in it, or.
Scots. Oh, you don't know. You just say scat. You don't know the types of scat. Fuck you.
Well, okay, tell me some types of scat and and educate me.
Pooping. Using it as weapons.
Corn. Isn't that porn? That's just funny.
You don't know.
I know about scat.
Swallowing lots of toxic waste and tossing it in each other's face and seeing who melts off first. Go.
Stamper, when you're eating out a girl's butt, if it smells a little bit like poop, do you like that? Just a little bit, just a whiff.
Well, it's a butt.
Yeah, I know, but if you just get a whiff and it smells a little bit kind of funky, you kind of like,
Buddy's gonna smell no matter what.
you're just like, yeah, it's
If you dab it with coconut oil and the butthole opens, there's still shit and
What
stuff
if you
inside
finger?
it. What if it doesn't change?
What if you?
If you dab it with coconut oil.
What if you finger her butt, but it's fine? You take out you take your finger out, and then you put your hand on her ass to fuck her again, and then you take your hand off, and there's just a little bit of yellow, just a tiny bit of yellow.
Question.
This is why our fan base is primarily male. Okay? Because his whole opening was fuck women, and now there's yellow shit on my finger because I was
No,
finger
just a
fucking
little faint bit of yellow. Like you leave that, would you go, ugh, or would you just kind of like put it in your mouth?
You live in the moment of sexual intercourse.
Niall.
Yeah.
Dogs are related to us. Dogs sniff butts. I rest my case.
What? How are dogs related to us?
They're mammals. They have pussies. They have danguses. They're dogs. They breathe, eat, fart. Do I have to go on?
Fucking hippos are related to us. I don't fucking like bathe in the like fucking water and stick my head out and ram people.
Most things
How
related
often do you get to run into a hippo's pussy?
Never. But
Exactly.
what does a hippo's pussy look like?
Have you ever been to a zoo?
Leave a picture of the hippo's pussy in the comments below.
Leave a picture of a hippo's pussy in the comments below.
I would like to see what it looks like. I'm actually intrigued now.
Do you remember that movie Ace Ventura, Pet Detective?
Oh yeah.
Oh, just ask your mom.
Okay, wait, that was too far. First of all, that was about.
Do you remember that?
seconds.
Do you remember the part where
That's true. That,
he
but
gives
that was
birth to a hippo?
That was a rhino. If I don't.
It was a rhino.
It was a rhino.
And he was like in this weird brown liquid, and he's like, he goes, ah!
That was fun.
What I don't
Actually, it's
understand,
hilarious.
what I don't understand is how the guy was like, look, son, he's giving birth, and it's clearly a fucking guy's like fingers and shit. Like, wouldn't you understand? Wouldn't you be like, so it's a guy hand? Would you be like, oh, it's one of those malformed like rhino guys that you see every now and then?
But it was so obviously not a real hippo too.
The character in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, was he a rhino with purple hair?
Yeah.
Rocksteady.
Did he have purple hair? I don't know anything about Teenage Mutant Turtles.
You need to get educated, my friend.
I didn't grow up with
Turtles.
it. Do you want to know something?
Yeah.
I tried watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There was this one scene where these kids were tied to a bed in the basement of like the sewers or whatever, and he's like, "Y'all gonna tell me where the turtles are?" And he took out a feather, and they're like, "What are you gonna do with that?" And he started tickling their feet.
So many weird stuff made me horny when I was a kid. I swear to God, that made me horny when I was a kid.
Dude, that just confused me and irritated me.
Weird
Because
thing.
I was like, wow, this is taking my core
not
spot with the
kidding. I'm not
cartoon I
kidding.
wanted to watch.
Like I was set to be the biggest pervert ever because when I was a kid, you know the movie.
Now, biggest pervert ever?
Yeah.
I like to see that.
You know
One of those headlines.
You know the movie.
Fucking your
You know the
dreams.
movie Aladdin.
Yeah,
You know the part where Jafar like controls them and makes them do what he wants.
yeah.
That made me really horny when I was a kid. And I was so confused. I don't know why. I was like, you could like make her do anything. I don't know. It was just really.
No,
fucking
you
weird.
overthink Disney movies when you watch them.
I don't know. I was just a kid and that made me horny. I have no idea why. I was literally about 7 years old.
Jasmine made me horny, but you know.
Jasmine made me horny.
You see Robin Hood?
She still makes me
The
horny.
Disney Robin Hood?
Yeah.
You know Maid Marian the fox?
Yeah.
She made me super horny when I was a kid.
Dude,
She
yeah.
made me horny too, and she was like kissing the bunny boy, and I'm like,
Yeah.
why is that little faggot get all the attention? He sucks.
like-
I know.
Lola Bunny in Space Jam, horny as fuck.
Yeah. And people are like, oh, it's so wrong. Like, so shut up, faggot. You liked it too. Fuck you.
This
Yeah.
one time I walked in on my dad when he was pooping, horny as fuck.
This one
Wait,
time.
you got horny or was your dad horny while he was pooping?
I was.
This
I was
one
horny.
time,
Both of you?
I walked in my dad's room and he had coconut oil all over the bed.
What's this doing coconut oil?
It's the only lubricant I've ever been exposed to.
Was it
Besides
Fireboy and
Purell.
Coconut Girl?
Coconut oil is amazing. You could cook with it. You could use it as a massage oil.
And you can put stuff in your ass using it.
It smells great. Not after you take it out of your ass, but it smells great. And you know what the thing is? I hate coconut. I hate the
Me
taste
too.
of it.
You know, this is the thing. I'm gonna ruin this for everybody because I don't care because I don't like coconuts. Spoiler alert, I'm gonna ruin on coconuts for you forever. So get ready. Coconuts taste like soft fingernails in your mouth. That's what coconut tastes
That's
like.
shredded
those little
coconut.
white those little white coconut, they taste like soft fingernails. Take a bite. I don't give a shit if you don't chew them. Take one bite of them and fucking taste that texture, and then put a coconut in your mouth after taking a shower, and fucking tell me that doesn't taste.
That's shredded
like
coconut,
nail.
though.
Shredded coconut.
Well, it's that, but
That's the most common
I
coconut
don't like
you run into.
I don't like the taste of coconut. It tastes
It doesn't-
coconutty.
It doesn't have a taste. It's
and bad.
weird. I mean, coconut's good mixed in with certain things, but it's that nutty fucking Nutter Bar coconut stuff that comes off in shavings.
Coconut water is puke worthy. It's disgusting.
If you were on a strand on a desert island, all there was chocolate, wine, or coconuts, what would you want?
Coconuts. What the fuck am I gonna do with wine?
Yeah.
And I don't really care for chocolate.
What do you mean? What could you not do with wine? Wine like never goes bad.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do? Sit on a desert island, drink wine all day, and get fucked up and sick?
Yeah. What else are you gonna fucking do?
Dehydrated, angry, wake up with a hangover, and die in 2 days?
You have a thing of water. You have a spring of clear water.
Oh, now I can just add things to
No,
this
you
fantasy?
had this. You just had to dig through the woods a little bit.
Like
You have
Swiss
to
Family
explore.
Robinson, but I have wine too.
Right, I'm just writing how, I want a fantasy.
Is it
game.
unlimited wine and unlimited coke?
Don't you hate that when people set up fantasies and then they put you in a situation where a fantasy like won't go through and then they're like, no, but there's so and so here, so now you have to choose the other one.
You just did that though.
I know. I was creating an example for a new topic.
I
I see
see
what you
it.
did there.
It's like those. They create like a false sense of like securement, and it's almost like a thing where it's like,
No, you never know what they want from you. It's like, all right, so here's a scenario. You're in a warehouse, and there's only one door in the warehouse, and you have to escape the warehouse, and all you have is a wrench, and you're like,
I use the
okay,
window.
so I use the door, and they're like, no, the door is locked. And it's like, okay, so I used a wrench and hit the lock on the door, and they're like, no, you can't do that because there's no wrench. And it's like, what do you want from me, dude? It's like, it's like, okay, so I guess I die in the warehouse.
but it's like, yeah, exactly, you fucking idiot.
Exactly, you fucking faggot. Yeah, go die in the warehouse.
And they feel like they're the fucking kings after setting. They killed you. They outsmarted you.
That's
You were no match for them.
That's a lot of those things where it's like it plays into what you want to hear. Like it's like, oh, it's great. You'll have.
Nobody's ever happy. They're like, oh, you used the wrench and got out of the warehouse. Good.
It's
Good
like,
for
oh,
you, dude.
we're creative.
No one has ever like you successfully escaped.
None of those, those scenarios never work out.
Wow,
What do you want to talk about?
that just happened.
Dude, we had
were flowing, we
we
just
had an
stopped.
avid discussion about what you put in your ass and how kids are smart.
I don't think this is a bad podcast, actually.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Hey, when you were a kid, wait, let's talk about the things that happened when we were kids.
All right, let's talk about things that when you're a kid.
That's an endless supply of stories.
Sure, no, let's touch on the topic.
Yeah.
Okay, since we were on topic about kids at one point, when you were a kid, there's a certain thing your mom would always bring home that you would fucking lose your mind to. It was like the greatest thing your mom bought. And it was one of the... Do you have one of those fond things? For me, my mom would always bring me one of those big Slim Jim things when I was a kid.
Yeah.
She would always bring them home whenever she went out. And
Like
when
a
my
little gift to you.
Yeah, when my mom went shopping, I'd be like, Slim Jims when she gets back. And then I'd come up to her and I'd be like... And then she'd put out her hand, she'd be like, how'd you know? And I'd be like, it's like a fucking cat in a bell. It's like it knows it's going to get something after a while, so it's just like, oh, I'm going to get it Slim Jim. I'm gonna get
It's
something.
called Pavlov's dog. There's an actual term for that.
Did your mom ever do
Wrong.
that?
That was kindness from mom. I have a similar one too. When I was a kid, I was hooked on this movie called Universal Soldier. It was my favorite movie because I loved all the violence and I think there was a titty in there. But when I was a kid, it was like the coolest movie in the world. And this is back when you used to rent VHS tapes from movie rental stores. I don't even know if they fucking exist anymore. Can you rent movies now
I think
without fucking Netflix and shit?
I think they're honestly used.
There's a Blockbuster
they're,
in
they're
Alaska.
used as places in the back to sell drugs now, I think.
Anyways, my parents would go to the video store, and every time they went to the video store, they were like, is there a movie that you want to see? And I'm like, yeah, get Universal Soldier. I want to see it again. And they did that for me, like, my mom did that for me, like, 9 times. And then she went to the movie store again. She was like, is there anything you want to see? And I was like, yeah, can you get Universal Soldier? And she was like, no, I'm not renting this movie for you ever again. And I felt really bummed out. And then when she got back, she gave me Universal Soldier, and she went out and bought me a copy. The
That's awesome.
actual movie. It was the best gift that I ever got. I was like, oh my god! I watched that VHS tape so many times I destroyed it. Like I destroyed the tape on the inside. It didn't work anymore.
Oh, do you still like it?
Yeah. Also, I watch Universal Soldier right now. It's just I mean, it's not a phenomenal movie, but it's just like a movie that kind of.
I was the same way with Mummy. I watched Mummy so much, and
I did too. I've seen the movie like a million times.
It was just one of those movies that you could finish and be like,
Yeah, I could quote
all
that.
right, let's restart it, and then you'd start watching it all over again because it was the pacing was just like it was good. Like when they finally got into the fucking
It was a fun
pyramid,
movie.
it was just like it was great.
I agree.
Nah, you didn't say if there was anything you got when you were a kid. Like anything your mom, when she went out, she would get you a specific thing.
Not particularly, actually.
I used to get stuff from my mom too. It was always nice. Her face would light up. I remember my mom used to work at a funeral home, so we used to bring her bags of peach Jolly Ranchers because those were her favorite.
Yeah.
They used to like segregate the flavors of the Jolly Ranchers in the bags. I don't know if they still do that, but peach Jolly Ranchers were awesome. They were just like these light, peach flavored Jolly Ranchers.
Pink ones?
Yeah, and then I'd bring them to my mom at the funeral home, and I'd look at dead bodies and be freaked out.
Did you poke them and watch their heads cave in?
No, I remember walking up to, because this is in a really small Midwestern town. In the back of my mind, I remember walking up to because it wasn't very professional because there wasn't many people. So when people died, they just put them in coffins, and just kind of wheeled them over to the corner of the building, and so you could just walk up and look. And I remember seeing this guy with just a big smile on his face. He had these big ass ears, and he was just smiling really big. He was dead. I guess I was like, wow, death isn't that bad. That guy looks really happy. And later on, I just found out it was rigor mortis, and his face just like tightened up. So he wasn't really that thrilled to be dead, but.
It's funny too, the whole concept of when you get something, and then when your parents get older, like as
Yo, Niall's in the fucking bathroom. That guy's a fucking faggot. He needs to be kicked off this fucking podcast because I'm tired of all his fucking bullshit opinions. He needs to go and fuck back to Ireland where he belongs with his people, quote unquote.
I already called someone from Ireland. I know someone on the inside because I know Chris. Chris gives me connections.
The Irish connection, they're gonna come and fucking get Niall and just bring him back home. That's completely unreasonable.
No, it's real. Realistically, I thought about this.
Okay, fine. It just needs to be out of here. He just needs to go away. What were you saying, Corey?
I was talking about when you were younger. Whenever you got older, your mom she would spend money. So after a while, here's a realistic question. Did you get allowance?
No, never.
You didn't get allowance. Did you get allowance?
I've never gotten allowance.
Oh man, you know what I got each week
What?
from my mom?
What?
Out of the kindness of her heart.
I got chores and a speech about how I was lucky to be living there.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same.
I got
Dude, my parents were fucking... When I was old enough to even understand what allowance was, my parents were 30. They were our age.
I know.
I wouldn't give anybody fucking any of my money right now. I am so broke right now.
I know.
I want some shitty ass kids.
No, my mom would give me $20.
Yeah. Oh, so wait, was that supposed to be a lot or
$20 a week in the fucking 90s,
Yeah.
2000s start-ish.
Dude, if I got $20 a week back then.
And it was fucked up because they would just spend it on candy and useless shit when you're a kid. You're just I'm gonna get Jolly Ranchers, I'm gonna get Skittles, I'm gonna get M&M's.
I'm gonna go to the arcade and play for 5 days straight, and then you blow $20 in
And
28 minutes.
exactly. My mom she also never punished me when I was a kid. But the thing is because she was like that, I had a lot of respect for her. Because she was considerate.
That's what I'm saying. I never got hit by my
I
parents.
don't understand how people have these really shitty kids who are fuck you, you're a horrible parent.
Is there power in that?
Yeah.
People are fuck you, bitch, give me that candy. My mom was she never did anything to me. I don't think my mom's ever hit me in my entire life.
My mom, I got hit with a wooden spoon once, but I remember
I
that.
was
My mom kicks ass. I love my mom.
Yeah, I
my
do
mom
too.
is the shit,
my
son.
mom, she never did anything, and it's I was spoiled to hell and back. But because of that, I respected my mom.
One of my earliest memories that I remember was sitting on the floor of the shower, and I was looking up at my mom, and she was washing her hair, and she was completely naked because we were just showering in the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah, they always go oh, they'll never remember this, but everyone remembers it.
I remember that shit.
I remember it too. My mom used to come into the bathroom and use the toilet while I was taking a shower and shit.
Yeah, and you hear.
She'd just talk to me about things, and I would just be like, "Ma, you forgot my purple dinosaur," and then she would say all this stuff to me.
That's families, though.
Yeah, it's I'm pretty sure everyone's experienced that. It's not you're gonna be really oh, you saw your mom naked. It's dude, you were naked for 90% of your time when you were around your mom. Why does it fucking matter?
Everybody's fucking
Your
weird
mom
about
wiped
that.
your ass.
It's only
Sorry,
when
nigger
you're
once
it's
still.
only when you're older it might be kind of considered a little weird.
These are all these people that are, okay, I've seen my mom naked, I've seen my sister naked, I've seen my brother
I've
naked,
seen
I've seen
everyone
my
naked.
dad naked, I've seen half of my roommates naked.
I've
I'm not one of those
seen-
faggots that runs around masturbate? Oh, of course not. I don't masturbate. That's gross. That's just disgusting.
That's
You
bullshit.
disgust me,
That's
sir.
bullshit. Literally.
Just be honest. Human beings are disgusting creatures. Just get it out of the way.
We're fucking animals. We just do
No,
what
that's
animals
exactly
do. We
it.
have
And I
sexual
do feel like some people are just more vocal about it. It's some people are perverted, but just some are more vocal, and some are more able to talk, and some are more comfortable about talking about certain topics.
I got nothing to lose. What, is somebody going to make fun of me?
Yeah.
Oh!
They'd be like, "Hey, did you hear? Stamper likes guys."
Oh, shit. Hey, did you hear? Stamper saw his mom naked once. Oh!
They'd be like,
son?
Spaz Kid's a faggot. He puts stuff in his butt. It's yeah, all right. Ouch. Sorry,
what you
keep
say when
rubbing
you
my
put stuff-
titty. It's
is that
like
what you say when you put
shape
stuff in your butt?
bruises.
Ouch.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't bother me. At one point, I remember when I was on the internet and someone was like, "You're gay," and I'm like, "You can't say that. My mom says you can't say that stuff." And I'm like, "You're a jerk."
I remember in like
and then he's like, "Yeah, well, you're a faggot," and I'm like, "That's not fair."
I remember in like the 3rd grade, I was like, I go to my friends after school. I was like, "Fuck that," and then they were like, "Whoa!" Like, do you swear? And I was like, "Yep, I swear."
I used to be a kid, I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me or crap?" And then one day I was around like older kids who were just like, "Man, check this fucking ollie out." They're like, "Dude, you see that shit? Shit was awesome. Fuck yeah, dude." And then they're like clapping and shit, "Hey, dude, check it out." And then they like show me and stuff. And then I went home and I'm like, "Mom, this kid just did a fucking ollie." And she just turned around completely flabbergasted.